Welcome to Mind Set in Stone podcasts, where we dive deep into the most compelling books on the shelf. Join hosts Dave and Poppy as they uncover the stories, themes, and ideas that shape our understanding and inspire curiosity. Get ready to explore the big ideas that leave a lasting impact. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a journey, really getting into the remarkable insights of Claude M. Bristol's enduring classic, The Magic of Believing.
It's a fascinating book, one that really makes you think differently.
Exactly. And if you've ever found yourself asking, why some people seem to just effortlessly navigate challenges and achieve these huge ambitions, while others, maybe just as talented, seem to stumble, well, then prepare for a truly transformative deep dive. Because this isn't about some arcane ritual or mystical incantation. As Bristol himself meticulously detailed, it's about a practical and workable science.
Right, not magic in the sort of hocus-pocus sense, but something grounded in how the mind works.
Precisely. It's about understanding how to unleash the dormant yet incredibly powerful capabilities within your own mind.
And Bristol's own stories, how he got there, is pretty interesting, too.
It really is. His personal journey to these discoveries began around 1933. A tough time, globally, economically.
Definitely a challenging period.
And it was during these times that he first distilled his observations into a small brochure. But the real push, the impetus for writing the full book, came from, well, quite a formidable woman in publishing.
Ah, yes, I remember reading about that. She really pushed him, didn't she?
She did. He says she quite literally read him the riot act, convinced him it was his duty to give to the men and women who seek places for themselves in the world this knowledge, but crucially, in a clear, accessible way.
Making it understandable for everyone, not just academics or philosophers.
Exactly. And what an extraordinary promise this book holds. Bristol became absolutely convinced that any intelligent person who is sincere with themselves can reach any heights they truly and honestly desire.
That's a big claim. A really big claim.
It is. So whether your ambition is, say, to significantly increase your income, maybe double it, or to build that business you've always envisioned, or even manifest that perfect dream home, this deep dive is kind of a shortcut.
A way to get the core principles without maybe wading through everything yourself initially.
Right. It's designed to help you quickly grasp these powerful concepts and, most importantly, show you how to apply them directly, effectively, to your unique life and your most cherished goals.
What's truly compelling about Bristol's path here is his sheer intellectual veracity, his curiosity.
He didn't just stumble upon this.
Not at all. He didn't arrive at these conclusions by chance. His quest for understanding led him to explore an astonishing breadth of human thought and spiritual traditions.
Yeah, the list is incredible.
He immersed himself deeply in modern psychology, metaphysics, ancient magic, voodoo, yoga, theosophy, Christian science, unity, truth, new thought, Kuism. And he lumps many others together, calling it mind stuff.
Mind stuff. I like that.
Yeah.
It captures the essence, doesn't it?
It does, and he didn't stop there. He also delved into the philosophies and teachings of great masters throughout history, just looking everywhere for answers.
So across all these incredibly diverse fields, from science to, well, voodoo, what did he find?
Amidst all that diversity, he uncovered a consistent element. He called it a golden thread weaving through them all.
Okay, the golden thread, what was it?
Simply, belief.
Belief? That's it.
That's it. It's this fundamental yet profoundly impactful element that he found consistently makes things work for those who genuinely accept it and diligently apply it.
So it wasn't the specific system, but the belief behind the system.
Exactly. He mentions that his initial brochure, which had this great title, TNT It Rocks the Earth, was maybe found too deep by some people, too abstract.
Right. Sometimes simple ideas packaged complexly can be off-putting.
Precisely. And that feedback was what compelled him to write the book in words that anyone can understand, making it accessible.
Which underlines that other point he makes, doesn't it, about timing?
Yes, the idea that no mind ever receives the truth until it is prepared to receive it. Understanding often blossoms only when you're truly open and ready for it.
It suggests timing and readiness are key.
Absolutely. And that, I think, is the real aha moment Bristol wants us to grasp. This isn't some newly unearthed secret knowledge. No, he emphasizes this something, this understanding of belief, has always been known to have forged a few down the centuries. It's been around.
But somehow missed by most people.
Yet, for some reason, it remains barely understood by the average person. The very simplicity might be why it's overlooked or, maybe just dismissed as too basic.
Like the most powerful truths are hiding in plain sight.
Could be. It's a reminder that sometimes the answers are right there, masked by their straightforwardness.
Building on that, let's explore the foundational concept, the really big idea underpinning Bristol's entire philosophy, thought itself.
Right, not just idle chatter in your head.
Exactly. He posits it as a powerful creative force, a dynamic energy that fundamentally shapes our reality. Think about the objects around you right now.
Right.
Your chair, the room, maybe your car outside, even something tiny like a pin. Bristol asks, where do they come from?
From factories, materials.
But before that, the idea, the design, his answer is singular. They sprang from that strange force thought.
The blueprint was in the mind first.
Precisely. And this resonates with wisdom from ages past, doesn't it? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "The ancestor of every action is thought."
Makes sense. The thought precedes the deed.
And centuries earlier, Buddha stated something similar. All that we are is the result of what we have thought.
Wow. When you really let that sink in.
It's kind of astonishing, isn't it? If your whole life, your character, career, experiences is a direct result of your thinking processes, well, that implies incredible personal agency, responsibility even.
It does. It shifts the focus inward.
And here's where Bristol introduces a fascinating paradox. He says, thought makes giants out of pygmies and often turns giants into pygmies.
So your thinking can lift you up or pull you down, regardless of your starting point.
Exactly. Your mental attitude, your dominant thoughts can either elevate you to amazing heights of achievement, or they can diminish your potential. It doesn't matter what innate talents you have or your external circumstances nearly as much as your thought patterns.
A powerful reminder that our internal world really does create the blueprint for our external reality.
But that assertion, that thought, is so creative, it immediately brings up a question, right? What about all the outside stuff? The news, social media, what other people say?
That's a crucial point. How do we reconcile internal power with external influence? Bristol addresses this directly. He acknowledges that many of the thoughts we think are not ours at all.
Okay, so we absorb things unconsciously.
Constantly. He points out we're continually molded by the thoughts of others, by what we hear in conversation, what we read, what we hear in the movies, on TV, and on the radio, even by chance remarks.
It's a constant bombardment.
It is. And if we aren't vigilant, these external thoughts can really impact us, often subtly weakening our self-confidence or diverting our focus without us even realizing it.
So how do we counteract that? How do we tap into our own thought power?
Bristol introduces a powerful counter-concept. He pulls from an old article, El Dorado, published way back in 1932.
El Dorado, the city of gold.
Metaphorically, yes. It speaks of an internal gold of the spirit, a deep inner resource. The article states, when he finds himself, he finds freedom and all riches, achievement, and prosperity.
Finding yourself. So it's about discovering that inner power.
Exactly. This self-finding isn't just navel-gazing. It's about discovering that inherent inner resource that gives you dominion over your own thoughts and, consequently, your life.
Like historical figures seem to understand this.
Precisely. Think of Thomas Edison. He famously said things like, ideas come from space. It is not the power that is lacking, it is the will. He believed great ideas were sort of out there, available to those who cultivated the mental state and the willpower to grab them.
The will. That sounds key.
It is. And the Renaissance physician Paracelsus elaborated on this interplay beautifully. He said, through faith, the imagination is invigorated and completed. Faith must strengthen the imagination, for faith establishes the will.
Faith, imagination, will, they all work together.
Absolutely critical to Bristol's framework. True creative power isn't just wishing. It's cultivating deep, unwavering faith in the outcome. That faith fuels your imagination to picture clearly, and crucially, it establishes the will to act.
So the thought, the belief comes first, creating an energetic blueprint.
Right. All material things and ideas, before they manifest physically, have that spiritual or energetic counterpart in thought.
That's a powerful concept. So, okay, practically speaking, for us, for you listening, what does this mean day to day?
It means we have this incredible internal resource, like a hidden superpower almost.
Which operates through our two minds, right? The conscious and the subconscious.
Exactly. Bristol describes the conscious mind as the part operating mainly in the brain. It's the rational, analytical bit.
Logic, reason, judgment.
Yes, calculation, our moral sense. It's our guide as we navigate the material world, collecting facts, processing info, making sense of things objectively.
The part we're usually most aware of.
Right. It does the heavy lifting of analytical thought, problem-solving, deliberate decisions.
But then there's the subconscious, and this, Bristol says, is where the real magic happens.
Yes, this is where the transformative power operates. He describes it as being beyond space and time, non-physical, everywhere at once, in a sense.
Like a connection to something bigger.
He portrays it as an incredibly powerful sending and receiving station with the universal hookup, suggesting a link to a broader intelligence or energy field.
And the most amazing part,
it never sleeps.
Just think about that. An always-on, perpetually working partner on your journey, tirelessly processing and acting for you.
It's quite a concept. And the capabilities of this subconscious mind are just staggering when you list them out.
What does Bristol attribute to it?
Intuition, emotion, that deep feeling of certitude, inspiration, suggestion, deduction, imagination, organization, memory, and dynamic energy, all bubbling up from the subconscious.
Wow. So it perceives things intuitively, not logically.
Right. It perceives by intuition, grasping truths directly. And significantly, it operates most successfully when the objective senses are quiescent.
Meaning, when the conscious mind chills out a bit.
Exactly. During relaxation, meditation, maybe just before sleep or upon waking, those times when the analytical gatekeeper is less active, the subconscious is more receptive.
So how does it function? Does it just do its own thing?
Well, Bristol doesn't give a neat list of 3 functions, but you can piece them together from his descriptions. First, it definitely receives and acts on instructions from the conscious mind.
Okay, so you can direct it.
Yes. He says, objectively, it does as it is told, that is, when it is commanded or besought by the conscious mind. Give it clear orders, basically.
And second?
Second, it seems to have independent action. It works subjectively, primarily upon its own initiative, processing things and connecting dots below the surface of our awareness.
And thirdly, that connection idea.
Right. The idea of connecting to universal intelligence. Many, including Bristol, asserted it's a part of the supreme intelligence to which we are all linked. The universal mind concept.
Which ties into what some scientists were exploring too, right?
Absolutely. Sir Arthur Eddington, the physicist, had that profound thought about the mind potentially affecting atoms, tampering with probabilities, suggesting human volition could alter the world's course, not just physical laws.
That's mind-bending. The idea that your intention could literally tamper with the odds.
It hints at a potential far beyond just interpreting reality, perhaps subtly influencing its very fabric.
Okay, so if this subconscious mind is so powerful and has these functions, how do we actually use it effectively? What's the first practical step?
This leads us straight to our first crucial practical takeaway. Bristol is absolutely unequivocal about this. You must define your desire precisely.
Not just a vague wish for success.
No, that's too vague, he says. It's a non-negotiable prerequisite. The subconscious needs clear, unambiguous instructions. You have to have a pattern clearly drawn in your mind.
Visualize it in detail.
Meticulously. Just what you really want. If it's money, fix the amount in figures. A car, see the make, model, color, a house. Picture the rooms, the garden.
Create a mental blueprint.
Exactly. That precise definition, that clear mental picture, is the essential first step. It activates the subconscious, gives it the exact instructions it needs to start working. Without clarity, it's like trying to navigate without a map.
That makes perfect sense. Give your powerful assistant clear marching orders. Okay, so once you have that crystal clear desire, how do you communicate it effectively? How do you impress it upon the subconscious?
Bristol points to 2 fundamental forces here: suggestion and repetition.
Suggestion, like telling yourself something?
Yes, and believing it. He famously asserts, with striking simplicity, just believe you can do it and you can.
Belief as the starting force.
He calls it the starting force, the generating power that leads to accomplishment. It's the spark that ignites the whole inner mechanism.
And repetition, why is that so important?
This brings us to practical takeaway 2. Embrace repetition and affirmation. Bristol observes something profound here. Think about diverse systems across cultures. Mystical chants, religious prayers, affirmations, even rhythmic drum beating.
They all involve repetition.
Always. Why? Because consistent, persistent repetition drives the suggestion deeply and firmly into your subconscious mind. It hammers the point home, essentially.
Like that contractor example he gives.
Exactly. Facing a tough bid, the contractor didn't just hope. He silently, ceaselessly repeated, "I can do that," over and over, until that belief became solid part of him, and he got the contract.
And the flip side.
If he'd repeated, "He can't do it," Bristol notes, he never does. It starkly shows how our internal dialogue, reinforced by repetition, directly creates our reality.
So repeating positive affirmations or beliefs literally reprograms the subconscious.
That's the core idea. You're embedding the instruction through consistent focus.
And this power of repetition, it's not just personal, is it? We see it used on a massive scale.
Unfortunately, yes, sometimes with destructive consequences. Bristol points to mass suggestion. Think of Adolf Hitler, relentlessly repeating slogans like, "Germany has waited long enough. Stand up, you are the aristocrats of the Third Reich."
Bombarding people through all media.
24 hours a day, practically. Joseph Stalin, too, recognized as a mass hypnotist by experts at the time, used the same principles. Even the Japanese warlords feeding children suggestions from birth about their divine destiny.
It's chilling, but it shows the raw power of the mechanism.
Precisely. Bristol emphasizes the mechanics are the same, whether used for constructive or destructive ends. Understanding this highlights the responsibility we have when we grasp this power.
And we see it in everyday life too, right? Less dramatically, maybe?
Absolutely. Think about advertising. Public perception shifts based on repeated messages. Remember the fear of tomatoes. Or the spinach craze. Vitamin fads.
All shaped by suggestion and repetition.
Constantly. The core lesson Bristol draws is profound. Only the things you become conscious of can harm or bother you.
Meaning, if you don't accept the suggestion, it has less power.
Or if you're simply unaware of it as a negative suggestion. Our fears are often learned this way. He shares his own experience, never bothered by drafts or getting feet wet causing colds. Why? He never gave it a thought.
While others who believe in that connection might actually get sick.
It powerfully illustrates how deeply ingrained beliefs, often learned through suggestion, can manifest physically.
That connects to that quote from Job, doesn't it? "The thing which I greatly feared is come upon me."
Exactly. Bristol uses that to illustrate a crucial point. Fearful, negative thoughts are just as creative and magnetic in attracting troubles to us as are the constructive and positive thoughts in attracting good things.
So the mechanism works both ways. The subconscious doesn't judge. It just acts on the dominant belief.
Precisely. Your thoughts, whatever their nature, positive or negative, have a creative, magnetic quality, drawing similar experiences into your life.
Okay, so how does this thought attraction actually work? Is it like literal magnetism?
Bristol links it to concepts like pitch, intensity, emotional quality, depth of feeling, or vibratory plane. He's careful not to say it's exactly like electricity.
Right, he mentions experiments in Faraday cages suggesting telepathy still worked, even when known electrical signals were blocked.
Yes, so it's not conventional electricity. But he uses electrical phenomena as a powerful analogy. He points to Tesla's high-frequency experiments, Curlian photography, showing energy fields related to emotions, Dr. Burr's electrical atmosphere around living things.
Suggesting there are powerful, subtle energies at play.
Exactly. Energies or vibrations pouring forth from our minds, influenced by the intensity and emotional quality of our thoughts. He even described that experiment with a paper pyramid on a needle.
Oh yeah, making it spin just by focused thought.
Right. Demonstrating in a simple way the subtle but tangible power of focused mental energy.
So if thought has this magnetic, vibratory quality and negative thoughts attract negative things, how do we ensure we're attracting what we want?
This leads us perfectly into practical takeaway 3. Cultivate an all-consuming desire.
All-consuming? That sounds intense.
It is. Bristol stresses that desire is the prime motivating force in all of us. He argues quite forcefully that without an all-consuming desire, nothing can be achieved or gained.
So lukewarm wanting isn't enough.
Not for major goals. This desire must be potent, deeply felt, becoming the uppermost thought in your mind, consuming your attention, fueling your actions.
He uses the courtship analogy, right?
Yes, a vivid one. When you're trying to win a partner, that desire becomes uppermost in your mind. It compels extra effort, creativity, overcoming obstacles.
That burning, persistent desire sets things in motion.
It activates what Bristol calls the plus values in your life. Those hidden strengths and opportunities that emerge when your intention is absolutely unwavering. It's the internal fire that overcomes inertia.
That internal fire, leading us to another key technique, visualization.
Yes, the art of mental pictures. One of the most powerful tools Bristol champions.
And again, he's clear this isn't just idle daydreaming.
Not at all. Nor is it undirected wishful thinking. It's intensely purposeful, active. When you employ your imagination properly, he says, you see yourself doing a thing and then you go ahead and do it.
The mental rehearsal creates the reality first.
It's the inner blueprint, serving as the direct precursor to action and results. Mind creates, body follows.
So this is our next practical step.
Absolutely. Practical takeaway 4. Visualize your desired outcome clearly. And Bristol gives some wonderful classic anecdotes here.
Like the salesman, Bob, and the scary prospect.
Exactly. Bob was terrified of this wealthy, gruff guy, Mr. Smith, known for his intimidating, growling manner. Selling to him felt impossible.
So what did Bristol suggest?
Something simple, almost comical. Picture Mr. Smith differently. Imagine him at the beach in a bathing suit, maybe struggling with it. Or see him as one of those clownish dancing bears wearing a fez or a dunce cap.
Humanize him? Take away the intimidation factor mentally?
Precisely. The result. Bob burst out laughing. The mental hazard, the fear just dissolved. He walked in, relaxed and confident, and sold $20,000 worth of securities.
So the principle is seeing people as they really are behind the facade.
Rather than as they appear or pretend to be, Bristol says. When you do that, the mental hazard immediately disappears. Even a lawyer used this, picturing himself dominating a feared opponent, and his fear vanished. He felt he could have licked two like him.
That's incredible. And this visualization isn't just for overcoming fear of people, is it?
Not at all. It's remarkably universal. Bristol shows how sales managers used it to coach clerks. They'd instruct staff to mentally picture every customer buying specific items: cheese, roasts, salmon, whatever they wanted to push.
They were told to think of selling that specific thing to each person.
Literally. And the results were astounding. Stores sold more of those targeted items in a day than they had in months, just from the clerks internalizing and projecting that specific intention.
Wow. And the everyday examples, too.
Yes. The printer visualizing a parking spot and always finding one. The dietitian visualizing green lights and sailing through traffic.
The woman driving cross-country on worn-out tires because she believed they'd last. And they did.
Defying mechanical logic. And that oil company during the Depression facing ruin. Stockholders collectively visualized oil turning into money pouring from spigots.
And they recovered financially.
A remarkable turnaround attributed to that collective focus mental picture combined with their actions.
So why does this work so consistently, and how can we use it to, say, improve a skill?
Bristol gives great examples there too. The famous fisherman catching fish when others couldn't. His secret. Using his quizzimagintum, his fun word for mental magic, to clearly visualize fish hooking the bait.
He saw it happening in his mind first.
Clearly. Or the golf champion, mentally picturing the ball's entire flight and landing spot before swinging. He said, I must have a clear, clean mental picture. That mental picture takes charge of the muscular reaction.
The inner vision dictates the outer performance, like baseball players visualizing contact.
Exactly. It underscores that conscious, detailed mental picture making is a seriously powerful tool for manifesting desired outcomes in pretty much any area.
It really elevates visualization beyond just wishing. Okay, let's get into the other really concrete tools Bristol offers, making the magic tangible. How about dealing with money, a common goal?
Right. Bristol is very practical here. Money doesn't just appear, he says. It comes from combining mind stuff and energized action.
Mind stuff and action, both are needed.
Absolutely. It's not passive watchful waiting. It's about actively cultivating a money consciousness, a mindset attuned to financial opportunity, and consistently saving and investing. His advice is blunt. The more you save, the faster you will build that fortune.
Practical steps alongside the mental shift.
Which leads us to practical takeaway 5, the money consciousness and the cardboard picture technique.
The cards. I remember reading about this. Simple but effective.
Deceptively simple. First, write down your precise desire. $100,000, a new automobile, home of my own, whatever it is. Write it on a large card.
And then smaller ones.
Duplicate the exact wording on several smaller cards. Then place them strategically where you'll see them constantly.
Billfold handbag, bedside table, mirror, desk.
Exactly. The purpose is singular. To make you see the mental picture at all hours of the day, constantly reinforcing the desired outcome.
And he stresses concentrating on it at key times.
Especially just before sleep and immediately upon waking. Those moments when the subconscious is most receptive, most open to suggestion.
Did Bristol use this himself?
He shares a deeply personal story. Applying this very technique saved his investment banking firm during the Great Depression. He dictated his first brochure in 5 hours, feeling this sense of cosmic consciousness, ideas just flowing.
Wow.
But he also realized his firm's struggles weren't just the economy, it was the mass fear thoughts of his employees. He consciously worked to reverse their fearful thinking, instill a positive money consciousness using these techniques.
And it worked.
The company had a remarkable transformation, pulled back from the brink. Years later, he met the men from that initial meeting where they'd written desires on cards. He asked them about it. Without exception, every man had achieved what they'd visualized. A new car for one, a wife of a specific nationality for another, a fortune for someone else, a beach cottage. The consistency was astounding.
That's incredible evidence, but he includes a warning with this technique, doesn't he?
A crucial one. He repeats it often. Tell no one just what the words on the cards mean. To do so may end disastrously for you.
Why the secrecy?
He believed negative thought vibrations from others, skepticism, envy, even unconscious doubt could counteract or dilute your own positive formative vibrations. You need to protect that developing belief, let it solidify without interference.
Makes sense, like protecting a seedling.
Exactly. And the power here comes from that relentless repetition instructing the subconscious. Bristol uses that great analogy of Milo of Croton.
The wrestler and the calf.
Right. Milo lifts a newborn calf daily. As the calf grows, Milo's strength grows consistently until he can lift the full-grown ox. Bristol says daily repetition of your belief is like that.
Building internal power gradually but surely.
Systematically reinforcing the instruction until the subconscious can achieve seemingly huge tasks. It's that steady tap-tap driving the nail of desire firmly into the subconscious foundation.
Consistent effort. Which brings us to another technique involving consistency, the mirror.
Yes. Practical takeaway 6, the mirror technique. Another remarkably powerful tool for autosuggestion, confidence building, and personal magnetism.
How does it work?
It's quite straightforward. Stand direct before a mirror, seeing at least your waist-up reflection. Observe your posture, your presence.
Okay.
Then speak aloud, clearly, emphatically, with conviction. Say your desired words, but phrase them as though they have already become a reality. I am going to sell this prospect with ease, or I am getting that better job and I'm excelling in it. You visualize and affirm as if it's already done, speaking directly to your reflection, which speaks back to your subconscious.
Any examples of this working?
Compelling ones. A man named John, drunk at a party, stands before a mirror repeating, "John, you're sober, cold sober." In 5 minutes, a visible transfiguration. He reappears, completely sober.
Wow. That's dramatic.
He also used it with women overwhelmed by problems. Made them look in the mirror, ask if they saw crybabies or fighters. Tears often stopped, replaced by resolve.
And famous people used it too.
Churchill practiced speeches before a mirror, honing his commanding presence. Billy Sunday, the evangelist, lectured his reflection. An insurance salesman put confidence signs with mirrors on his team's desks during the Depression.
And their incomes went up.
Trebled, even quadrupled. Bristol says consistent practice gives your eyes a power you never realized you could develop. A penetrating gaze conveying conviction.
Another warning here though, right?
Yes. Don't use it for vanity. The purpose is building the person you wish to be. And again, probably best not to tell scoffers. Protect the process.
So these internal techniques have visible external effects, even in your gaze. Now, Bristol takes it a step further, doesn't he? Projecting thoughts.
He does. This is where it gets even more expansive, maybe more incredible for some. The idea that thought power extends beyond personal results, that it can influence others and your environment. How to project your thoughts.
Sounds like something out of science fiction, almost.
It can sound that way, but Bristol provides anecdotes and practical guidance, which leads to practical takeaway 7. Project positive thoughts and be a friend.
Okay, how does that work?
The core idea is simple but impactful.
Wow.
What you get back is a reflection of what you project mentally, like attracts, like on a thought level.
He tells a story about a plumber.
Yes, a local plumber who is consistently unfriendly and offensive. Difficult guy. Bristol consciously decided to mentally project the thought that this plumber was actually a fine chap, focused on a positive image.
And what happened?
Next time he called, the plumber was transformed, arrived, was helpful, accommodating, worked quickly and efficiently, just from Bristol changing his mental projection towards him.
That's remarkable. The lesson being...
Always try to do something for the other fellow, and you will be agreeably surprised how things come your way. Sincere compliments, small good deeds, maintaining a positive outlook towards others.
Be friendly, project friendliness, get friendliness back.
Basically, yes. He even adds that charmingly pragmatic note. The paperboy you befriend today may someday be the policeman who stops you. Small positive actions ripple outwards.
He even connects this to gambling streaks.
Yes, the hot gambler's streak. He says it's nothing more than an all-knowing feeling, a deep-rooted belief, a state of mind we can control and project, potentially influencing probabilities around us.
This projection idea, It sounds like telepathy. Did Bristol address that?
He did. He discussed the widespread belief in it and referenced scientific experiments, specifically Dr. J.B. Rhine's work at Duke University.
Rhine studied extrasensory perception, ESP.
Yes, and thought transference. Bristol notes that brilliant minds like Edison, Steinmetz, Tesla, Marconi were all interested in telepathy, suggesting they saw a connection between thought force and energy principles.
And Rhine's work also touched on mind-influencing matter, psychokinesis.
Exactly. Experiments showing subjects could apparently influence dice falls, golf ball trajectories, billiard balls, even trap shooting results. But there was that crucial prerequisite.
They had to believe they could do it first.
The subject must have a prior belief that they can influence the fall of the dice. Belief wasn't just a result, it was the key unlocking the potential influence.
Belief as the enabling factor again. And Bristol also stressed environment.
Hugely important. A consistently negative person can raise havoc energetically in an organization or home. We take on the characteristics of those with whom we associate. Choose your company wisely to support your own positive thought patterns.
And he dedicates a whole section to women who used belief to achieve incredible things, right?
A truly inspiring section. Powerful, real-world examples. Marie Curie, defying societal obstacles with unshakable belief in her scientific calling, winning 2 Nobels.
Florence Nightingale, transforming nursing against her family's wishes, driven by belief in her mission.
Grace Moore, the opera singer, losing her voice devastatingly, yet through sheer belief and determination, coming back to sing more beautifully than ever.
These women weren't just passive believers.
Not at all. They embodied the message. All the great forward movements have been done by men and women who were dreamers and believers in their dreams coming true. But crucially, they also had sufficient action or driving force behind their beliefs.
Belief plus action.
Their stories are living proof of the magic of believing applied practically, transforming lives and the world.
So after this whole deep dive, distilling Bristol's ideas, what's the big takeaway for you, the listener?
It means you possess this immense, often untapped power within. Bristol assures us the subconscious is ageless. It can never grow old or tired, and you can draw upon it all your life.
An inexhaustible inner resource.
Always available, regardless of age or circumstance. But there's a challenge. Bristol asks bluntly, what is the hardest task in the world? To think.
To think deliberately, consciously, instead of just reacting.
Exactly. He says most of us are victims of mass thinking, swayed by external suggestions, norms, collective consciousness. But this deep dive, these ideas, offer a roadmap to change that pattern.
The core message being,
whatever man can conceive mentally, he can bring into materialization. It's a declaration of your inherent creative potential. The book pleads, know thyself.
Know your power. Know what you're capable of when you align thought, belief, will, and desire.
Unleash the architect within. And Bristol encourages a rational approach to this, doesn't he? Not blind faith, but inquiry.
Right. He advocates for scientific inquiry, which, though rigorously exacting, will not resist conviction when incontestable proof has been obtained. Explore with an open but discerning mind.
What seems supernatural might just be natural laws we don't fully grasp yet.
So let's wrap up. What's the final thought, the challenge for everyone listening?
Let's use Bristol's own concluding advice. It's powerful. Read and reread this book until it becomes a part of your daily life. Faithfully use the cards and the mirror technique, and you will get results far beyond your fondest expectations. Just believe that there is genuine creative magic in believing, and magic there will be. For belief will supply the power for you to succeed in everything you undertake. Back your belief.
We hope you're leaving with fresh insights and a spark of inspiration. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and check back for more episodes as we dive into new worlds of thought, one book at a time. Until then, keep your mind set in stone and your curiosity open. This has been a Big L Riz Media podcast, where big ideas meet lasting impressions.